So on today's Academy lesson, it's going to be a little bit of an interesting move. This is going to be fairly difficult to do initially, but once you get it down, it's going to be fairly rewarding because it's going to allow you to control a card and to maintain breaks even after a dribble force. So you're going to be combining two moves here, and it actually somewhat works itself, but if you want to get it to a more advanced point where you're actually controlling the individual amount of the break, that's when it's going to get fairly difficult. So the actual move itself is the spectators call stop anywhere they want. Let's say they call stop over here. Now in one continuous action, you could actually control the card and force it at the same time. So in this case, we have a control and we have a force of the two of clubs. So in this case, what you're going to do, the force card is actually going to be second from the top of the deck. So the force card is going to be second from the top of the deck, which I'm going to leave face up for the sake of explanation. So that's the first step here. The next step is that you're going to cut the cards approximately more than half. I would say more than half of the cards you're going to cut to the bottom, and you're going to maintain a break above it. Now here what you're going to do, you're going to get into the dribble force. Now the dribble force is a force that requires timing. So you're going to dribble the cards, and you're going to have the spectator call stop wherever it is they want. However, you're going to ask them to call stop as you drop the cards, and you're going to time it so that wherever they call stop, you're actually going to stop at your break. That is the standard dribble force. So wherever it is they call stop, you're going to make sure that you time it so that when they say stop, you let all the cards below the break fall, and that is a force card. It's going to be a timing thing. It's something that, apart from the technique of me showing you getting a break and dribbling the cards, it's going to be something that you're going to have to practice in front of people. This isn't something that I could just show you. It's a feel thing, and you're going to be able to do it. However, little cheats, little things that you could look for. You could look at the spectator's lips. You could see when they're about to do the st, when they're about to actually say the word stop. You could see that, and their lips move, and that's when you continue to dribble and make sure that you're dribbling the cards faster so you could actually get to your break. But apart from that, this is going to be something that you're going to have to practice. So here, you're just going to get a break. You're going to have the spectator call stop. And here's the interesting part, because we're combining a dribble double. So we're combining the action of a dribble double here. If you guys don't know what a dribble double is, you are dribbling the cards and holding back two cards at the end. That is what a dribble double is. I'm going to link the actual lesson to this move in the description below. However, you're going to do that move while maintaining a break between both packets. So that's where it gets a little bit fishy here, because as the spectator calls stop, you're going to make sure that you time it so that wherever it is they call stop, it's actually going to be at your break. However, if you notice, if you have the dribble double mentality, you're actually going to be able to dribble to the force card and hold back exactly one card over here at the base of your thumb. Now, if you do the dribble double and you develop the feel for the actual move itself, you're going to notice that getting to this position is going to be easier because you've already developed the affinity for holding back 2, 3, 4, however many cards that you want. So in this case, I'm holding back one card. So that's why we have the force card being second from the top of the deck. So in this case, if I do the dribble force, the spectator call stop, I can actually hold back one card in a break ready to actually use in a control. So I'm forcing the card, and I don't have to have any sort of preparation whatsoever because this card is already going to be in a break ready for me to turn over this card, do the drop switch where I just bring this up, drop that card, and now do a one-handed fan, and I'm ready to control the card or just have this card switched for whatever reason that I want. So again, one thing I do recommend before you know this move is to actually practice the dribble double. So actually practice the dribble double to the point where you're holding back 3 cards if you want to hold back 3 cards, if you want to hold back 2 cards, if you want to hold back 2. But you need to get really, really good with the dribble double, because then your thumb develops the actual grip and the actual technique so that when you actually accomplish this dribble force control, you know how many cards you're holding back. So again, one more time, just for the sake of explanation here, the force card is going to be second from the top of the deck. You're going to swing cut the cards, approximately more than half. You're going to transfer this to the thumb, and you're going to dribble the cards and have the spectator call stop anytime they want. So again, this is going to be the timing aspect of the force. They're going to call stop. However, when you dribble to the break, you're not going to dribble all the cards. You're going to dribble all the cards, and you're going to hold back one. So you're dribbling all the cards, and you're going to hold back one card. So in holding that one card, that card is automatically going to be in a thumb break, ready for a drop switch. So wherever it is the spectator calls stop, you're going to conspire to make sure that it's at your break, And just by holding back this one card, you're going to be ready for a drop switch. So you're going to have to watch your angles here, because sometimes what happens depending on the deck is that the card bows like this. So that's going to depend, again, on humidity, on the conditions of the cards. Ideally, you want the card to be in a break similar to this, similar to a standard thumb break. However, again, things happen. So in this case, you're ready for a drop switch. So this card, remember, is going to be face down. You're going to show it to the spectator. You don't have to do any move whatsoever because you're already ready for the drop switch. You're going to show the spectator the card. Now here, I'm just going to bring this half over, and almost as an afterthought, I'm going to lift up and do a one-handed fan. Now again, the move there is very, very simple. I'm showing the spectator the card. I'm coming in with my right hand, and I'm depositing this card on top of the cards that is currently on top of the deck. So on top of the force card, I'm depositing that braked card, which is going to allow me to now place this X card in the middle of this one-handed fan, place this one-handed fan in the middle of this half, which controls their card to the top of the deck. So it's a very, very simple and effective economy of motion here, because you're not having to do any sort of external move here. You're already getting the break automatically. So holding back one card is actually not too difficult. You're just literally dribbling to the break and holding back one card. That's not too difficult. However, if you actually want to get to the point where you're holding back multiple cards, let's say, for example, you want to dribble and you want to hold back two, that's what's going to get a little bit iffy, because that requires a little bit of feel. So in this case here, I've held back exactly two. And the best thing that I could tell you to learn that is to learn to dribble double, is to dribble the cards and hold back two, dribble the cards, hold back three. Practice holding the cards in that way. One of the techniques that I showed on how to actually practice that is to get the twos and the threes in the deck and to mix them up, and then turn over the card on top of the deck. If it's a two, then you hold back two. If it's a three, then you hold back three. And you learn how to actually differentiate between the feel of the cards in that way, so that when you actually accomplish and do this move, you're going to be able to hold back two cards if you want to, and you're going to be able to hold back one card if you need to. So that's just a little bit of a tip when it comes to practicing this move. But all in all, what you have is a very, very effective way of not only forcing a card, but also being able to control that card without any additional movement whatsoever. So you're not having to get a break after. You're not having to reestablish that thumb break. You're getting that thumb break automatically on that card right there above their card without any need for fidgety moves afterwards. So that's what I like about this little dribble idea. So in this case, one more time at speed, you're forcing the card. In this case, you're forcing the four of spades. That card gets placed in the middle of this half. That card gets placed in the middle of this half. A little bit of a mess there. And of course, the card is still controlled to the top. So you see the economy of motion there. You don't need any sort of fidgety actions. So at speed, let's say we want to force, in this case, the seven of hearts. That card is placed, I'll tell you what, I'll put it in the middle of this half. I'll place that in the middle of this half. And then now, of course, your card is way harder to find than it was before. JK, that's a lie. It's on top of the deck. So that's the actual dribble break technique. It's a little bit advanced. It does require some practice, but definitely well within your scope. Thank you guys for being members of the Pigcake Magic Academy, and I hope to see you on the next one.